All right. Sorry about the silence. I was just letting. I feel like I don't know if that's a normal thing to do for other streamers. Maybe it's a better idea. Maybe I let it sit in silence for a sec to let people join in. Because usually I just started and go, "Hey everyone," but at that point nobody's watching, so I'm saying hi to no one. Hey Bread Dog, welcome to the stream. Clicked as fast as O could. I know you mean I. We all get typos every now and then. Man, it's been a good while. I've been a busy lad. I've done it before. Yeah, I have done it before. Sometimes though, or I don't think all the time it was intentional. I think I like messed something up where I was like, oops, let me fix this, and I didn't want to restart the stream. But this time was intentional, where I was like, I was seeing if it would help. That way, people who come in don't come in the middle of a conversation. Well, not a conversation, because I wouldn't be having a conversation. They wouldn't come in after I'm done welcoming the stream. But, anyways. Oh, unless you're talking about typos. Or no, wait. That was too fast for the typo thing, I think. Whatever. Anyways. I want to see if I can finish this script. As the title says, maybe this is the episode I get the script done. I've got Steamworks, Nabooti, Ghost Story, Time Tangled, Mythology, Survival, and Cryptids. Okay, I probably am not getting it done. That's 7. I think I usually get like 4 done, 3 to 4. No, 4 to 5. But I don't know. We'll see. You watch easy because talking to someone is fun, as you don't have any friends to talk to at 12 in the morning on a school night. Yeah. No, I think that's what I like about streaming is I'm able to talk to people, get some conversation. It's nice. This is gonna sound super. Well, I don't know. I think I think it's normal for some people. Like it's normal for me, but I talk to myself out loud a lot, regardless if I'm streaming or not. Like I'll just be home and I'll be playing a game by myself, and I'll just be like, this doesn't seem like the right thing to do. I think I should go this way. It's like it's not even because I've been streaming. It's because of it is because I've just always talked to myself to fill in the silence. I don't know. That might sound crazy to some people, but it is. I think it's just like I'm not very good at like internalizing my thoughts. Like I can't just sit there by myself and think something. I can, but I think it's better like when I'm alone and I'll like see some show that I like, and then out loud to myself I'll be like, oh man, that was a great show. I really liked this and this. It's weird, but I do it all the time. And so it's nice to have somebody else on the other end, not just me. You talk to yourself sometimes for the same reason. Yeah, exactly. I actually I did that to pass the time too. Like I used to work at a place where I was outside all the time, like parking vehicles, and it was doing that just all day for like 8 hours. And to pass the time, I would just like come up with things in my own head, or not in my own head, out loud. Like I would just be like, well, not in front of people. Like I'd always quiet down when people walked by, but I'd be like, what would be a good video idea? We got this one, this one, this one. Like that's what it would be like. Here, 1 second. I want to... make sure that this is all correct. Just I don't know if it's weird. It was like showing up weird on the. For me, it was showing up weird. I don't know if it was for you guys. Didn't look right, but let's see. Okay, there we go. That might not look any different. I think it looks better now. I think the resolution was off a little bit. But anyways. Yes, he says, what would be a good video? And then I get an ad about using feet to make... That's funny. Yeah. Like I said, if you don't... I would recommend... I don't know... Well, I don't know... the last time I used ad blockers, YouTube, like, got by them. But I use the Brave browser. It's not a good browser. Like, I definitely prefer the search function on other ones and the customization, but it is like the most like it has it built in to get rid of that stuff. So I would recommend that if you're looking to get rid of that. Jolly Wampa OnlyFans real. That's funny. I got in other news, I wish I could show it. Well, I can. It's just gonna be a picture. I got a new. I've never had one before until now. I've always wanted like a controller, like an actual video game controller. Not that I think it would be easier for certain games. Like, there's definitely games where I prefer not to play a controller, but there's some where I've played it and I've been like, man, this would be awesome if it had a controller that I could play with. And I got one. And it's super sick. It looks like this. Okay, hold on. It's inverted. Let me do this instead. There we go. I have it inverted on the thing. I wish Google had a built-in dark mode for this. It doesn't. This is like an extension, and I use it just because the white paper kind of look to it always hurts my eyes. Probably gives off some of that blue light, but the extension also inverts the images. But anyway, this is what it looks like. It's a super sick Xbox controller. It's not even like, this isn't even like a skin. This is like actually like physical, like indents and stuff. Same with these, like these stick out. I didn't know that when I bought it, but it's like custom model. It's super, super cool. It's got like an Easter egg too inside the, like where you slide here to change the batteries. It's got like an Easter egg on the little panel you take out. It's a sick controller, and I've used it. I've tried it with certain games. Like in my spare time, I've been playing the 2015 remake of King's Quest. If you don't know what that is, that was a very old game series, and I don't plan on playing the originals because they're infamously terrible to play. But it's pretty fun, and it controls way better on a controller than keyboard and mouse. Like, I could show you really quick. I know I'm already getting like completely off topic from script writing. Like, I just need to get the script going. But like, let me show you what I mean. Some games it just feels better to use controller. Where do I have? There it is. King's Quest. I don't know. I feel like this could be a fun stream series, but I don't know. It's kind of a game I feel like that's more enjoyable when I'm like fully paying attention to it, which is why I've been playing it in my spare time. Oops, there we go. Let's see, will it capture King's Quest? I think it should. There it is. Oh, I don't even have it on. I'm not going to be playing, by the way, I'm not going to be playing through it. I just want to show you kind of like the difference of function here with the different stuff. So like, okay, this isn't a good example. It's not a good example because you can't really, it's like a scripted path. Hold on, this is a bad example. Oh, there's a Let's go around this corner. Okay, well. Oh, there's a baby dragon.
Nightmares come in many forms. Once you realize what you are actually afraid of, you can start to deal with the fear.
Alright, I don't think this is... Let me... I know for sure one part that will... Hold on, let me just do like a new save slot and just start from the beginning. Okay, let's do that. Because this, I know for the beginning you... Okay, here we go. What even is the script? Oh, hello, D's. D's, what? I didn't even see you come in here. Oh, yeah, it's not even an hour and we get sidetracked. You knew, what is the script about? It's script is never going to be completed. Script for videos. This is not the video the script is for. I'm just showing off my controller, how much it... Like, this is keyboard, right? Like, you can't really do... You can only do, like, very... Like... I mean, you know, it's up, down, left, and right. That was right and left, right? But now that I have a wireless controller, I can do like a much smoother turn. It can, you know, like adjust the speed at which I walk by just like going on. It's super nice. I'm getting like super used to using it in certain games like this. Like, again, I think not all games work best with a controller, but this is one of them. Like, this plays so much nicer on a controller than just mouse and keyboard. Anyways, that's all I was showing. We're not playing King's Quest today. We have to work on a script. I was just trying to show you that I now have a controller. It is just something that I got. So let's go back. Where were we? I'm sorry, I got sidelined. It really is a cool controller, though. And the vibration. I forgot about that. That's a cool effect. Like, in the game, for example, when a giant walks by, it, like, shakes your controller in your hand. It's so sick. Don't clip that first part of that sentence. Okay, anyways. So we have 7 islands to talk about left, and the conclusion. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. I'm sick of working on this script. This is just the script. I haven't even started actually making the video yet, because this is just the script. Australian? Sidewanked? What do you mean? Where? Sidewanked? What are you talking about? Alright, Steamworks. Steamworks Island. To the average Pop Tropica player, I imagine that am I from the land down under? No, I'm not. Did I sound like an Australian? Oh yeah, I got you sidewanked there. Months, goddamn. Yeah, that is true. He's not kidding. How long is this video gonna be? Probably 2 hours at least. D's what, sir? D's what, sir? Here, let me show you. Right now I'm at 34 pages, but it's probably gonna be even longer. Not probably, definitely gonna be even longer. And doing these streams is the best way of me not procrastinating on this script. Excuse me. It's still going. There we go. So, we're almost done though. I have 7 left to talk about. That's and then I got to record it. It's not going to be super crazy edited. I think I would not feel very good if it was edited like crazy throughout the whole thing, but I hope it's just an enjoyable. It's like a ranking of all the Pop Tropica islands. So what's the deal with Pop Tropica? So I did a stream series, and I've always wanted to make a Pop Tropica video of some kind because I loved that game, and I found a way to play it through an emulator, and I did a stream series where I played literally every single Pop Tropica island that I could. And so most of my footage is going to be from that, but I decided for a video to make a ranking of all 53 Pop Tropica islands. There's some technicalities in there, so I don't know if I'd say there's exactly 53, but I rounded it down to 53 islands. And I have 7 left. So I have done 46 of the 53 islands. I've ranked them. So, anyways, I have always had a soft spot in my heart. Have I said that in this at all? Soft spot in my heart. I have said that. Okay, well, doesn't matter. I'll say it again. There's space enough. Well, no, now I kind of want to change it. I've always had a great fondness of Steamworks Island. Excuse me. I've always had a great fondness of Steamworks Island. I've always had a great fondness of Steamworks Island. It's just such another... I've always had a great fondness of Steamworks Island. I'm trying to think of how to say what I want to say about it. Because obviously it's not my favorite. It's 10th place. But what do I want to... I've always had a great fondness of Steamworks Island. Pop Tropica, as I've constantly mentioned, has this great knack of taking separate concepts, separate interesting concepts, and combining them in a really creative way. And I think Steamworks Island is so full of that imaginative quality. I might have to rephrase that, but this dude must really fuck with Pop Tropica to be writing all of this. Yeah, no, it was like my favorite game growing up for a good period of time. Like I played it when it first came out in, I believe, 2007. Fact check. 2007. Yep, I knew that by heart. But it came out in 2007. I played like if you never played it, it's not, if you've never played it as a kid, I don't think you're going to get much out of it because it's like made for children. it's a children's game, but it definitely had like I played it a lot for the nostalgia, and it's still fun. I like a lot about it. I think it's a really creative, fun experience. And now the game, it was an online game and you could talk to people. I don't know if it was ever real, but it felt like it. And they had like little common rooms, but you would basically just go to these different islands with different themes and complete these different adventures. And they were always so neat. But the game is dead. Like last year, they basically said, we're not doing any more. It's now relegated to a page on coolmathgames.com. It used to have its own website, but now it's just like a shell of its former self. You wish you fucked with something this much. You never heard of it because you're a young bastard. Oh man. Well, here, I'll tell you how to play it. Because this is how I did it on stream. Well, first of all, you can try doing the actual site. You can try playing it. Well, not the actual site, but it is on, like I said, coolmathgames.com. It's right here. And it looks like this. But it's this is not the best version. This is such a actually, did they get the sound back? I'm just doing like a random thing here. Oh, did they get the sound back? Damn, I should have played this later. I played this and it was mute. This... They updated it May 1st. That was after I played it. I thought they weren't updating it anymore. Did they really? I could have played this with sound. Are you kidding me? Whatever. Anyways. When I played it, it was like completely silent. Anyways, but the best way I'd say to play it is to get the Flashpoint emulator, which the reason the game is so gutted is because it was all made on Adobe Flash Player, which That was a while ago. Hold on. What did you say? You feel you kind of distracting from writing the script at all. But don't worry. Honestly, these script writing streams, I like them being conversations. So don't worry about distracting me. I'm going to get it done eventually. You're going to sleep. Have a good night and stream sometime next week, please. When you get to do math and you're... Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine, D's what? Yeah, he did. He got me to try and relearn how to do long division. Anyways, so it was on Flash Player, and then websites. I don't remember if it was Adobe. I think it was Adobe, but someone was discontinuing Flash Player support online, and most video games online ran on Flash, and so basically, somebody or they made an emulator called Flashpoint, which just has like thousands of archived Flash games on it. And Poptropica is one of them. And it's pretty well preserved on there. Like, it has the majority of its content pre-Flash, like, support nuke going off. And it's a really fun... I mean, besides just Poptropica, you can find all kinds of different games on there and whatever. But anyways, that's how you play it. And I would recommend it. I mean, I'd recommend it. I don't know if you'd have any enjoyment of it, again, because it's a game made for kids. But it's got, like, you know, it's got adult jokes in there. It's got, like fun games and puzzles. Like, it's entertaining. So... this list I wanted to make just because I think it'd be fun. And there has been a Poptropica ranking on YouTube before, but that was a ranking like A tier, S tier, B tier, kind of like some of my rankings. But this is like from worst to best. So it's not like a clear A tier, S tier kind of thing. It's all the way here. This is the worst island. And this is the best. So that's kind of how the list is going. If you're still there and you're wondering. So anyways, right now, we're doing Steamworks Island. So I've always had a great fondness of Steamworks Island. Poptropica, as I've constantly mentioned, has this great knack of taking separate, and this also is full of spoilers. So just don't expect there to be like any like anything in here. If you were to want to play it, I don't think you would care necessarily, but if you did, there's going to be a lot of spoilers in my writing, and I make that apparent in the beginning of this video as well. Like, I'm going to be spoiling the ever-loving shit out of most of these islands to say why I rank them a certain way. Yeah, you're here. Okay. I was just wondering. I saw it go from like 4 viewers to 1, so I was just making sure. Okay, so I've always had the great fondness of Steamworks Island. Poptropica, as I've constantly mentioned, has this great knack of taking separate, interesting concepts and combining them in a really creative way. And I think Steamworks Island is so full of that imaginative quality. This one takes a futuristic steampunk setting of a futuristic steampunk city setting, and throws in a good dose of vegetable, a good dose of a vegetable apocalypse. Excuse me. This one takes a futuristic steampunk city setting and throws in a good dose of vegetable apocalypse, we'll say. It sounds funnier. A vegetable apocalypse. It captures in my youth playing this island, it captured this immense feeling of dread. I don't know, vegetable. In my youth playing this island, it captures this immense feeling of dread. Seeing what looked like a lively city of gears and valves turned into a ghost town with overgrown vines and sprouts. Leaking out of from cracks and crevices in the buildings and pavement, in the streets and the buildings. In my the first time I played this island, it captured an immense feeling of dread, seeing what looked like a lively city of gears and valves turn into a ghost town with overgrown vines and sprouts leaking from cracks and crevices in every street and building. Not the only life forms able to be found were robots. The only life form, I forget if there's more than one. It's not just the robot. The only life forms to be found are artificial, just robotic companions roaming the dead. The dead city. The only life forms to be found, the only neutral life forms, I should say, to be found are artificial, just robotic companions roaming the dead city. Other signs, what you do find that actually you're going to bed. Good night. All right. Well, sounds good. Thanks for stopping in, D's what, sir? It was good chatting with you. Hope to see you again. What you do find that actually counts as biological life are aggressive and are aggressive plant monsters that infest What you do find that actually counts as biological life are aggressive plant monsters that infest the region. What you do find that actually counts as biological life are aggressive plant monsters that infest the region. There's a very interesting lore and mystery to the there's a very interesting lore and mystery to the state that this island is in. And part of the adventure of Steamworks is following the path to the answer. I'm gonna read this over once I'm done and see if I can make it sound better, because right now I'm just kind of rough drafting it. There's a very interesting lore and mystery to the state that this island is in, and the biggest part of the adventure of Steamworks is following the way to answers. You want to know... I need the wiki. I need the wiki because it'll help me remember character names that I don't remember. Sprocket. That was the name of the robot. It was Sprocket. You want to know if you can find Sprocket's owner. You want to find Sprocket's owner. You want to know why vicious. You want to know why carnivorous flora nests throughout the district. You want to know, you want to use this sick as fuck walker mech to beat the pulp out of these little leafy shits. Oh, shoot, I should have some music playing. Makes it a little more interesting. I think we were on Little Nightmares, actually. Like, we were in the soundtrack of Little Nightmares 2. Here we go. Get something in the background. Um, Let me read through this, see how it's going. I've always had a great fondness of Steamworks Island. Pop Tropica, as I've constantly mentioned, has this great knack of taking separate, interesting concepts and combining them in a really creative way. And I think Steamworks Island is so full of that imaginative quality. This one takes a futuristic steampunk city setting and throws in a good dose of vegetable apocalypse. The first time I played this island, it captured an immense feeling of dread, seeing what looked like once lively city of gears and valves turned into a ghost town with overgrown vines and sprouts leaking from cracks and crevices in every street and every building. It was weird that it says leather. The only neutral life forms to be found are artificial, just robotic companions roaming the dead city. What you do find, companions and workers roaming the dead city. What you do find that actually counts as biological life are aggressive plant monsters that infest the region. There's a very interesting lore and mystery to the state that this island is in, and the biggest part of the adventure of Steamworks is following the way to answers. You want to find Sprocket's owner. You want to know why carnivorous flora nests throughout the district. You want to figure out where everybody went. You want to figure out where everybody went. Since you want to figure out where everybody vanished to. You want to figure out... You want to know why carnivorous flora nests throughout the district. You want to figure out why only this man died and where everyone else is. You want to use this sick as fuck walker mech to beat the pulp. The ever-living pulp out of these little leafy shits. It's a great adventure. It's a great... It's a great island to keep your curiosity peaked. It sure captured mine. It's got some tricky parts and some annoying boss fight stuff sometimes, but overall I think Steamworks earns 10th place. 10th place with the amount of vibe, with the amount of eerie vibes it's got dripping. It's got some tricky parts to solve. at least for me, and some annoying boss fight stuff sometimes. But overall, I think Steamworks Island earns 10th place with the earns 10th place with the amount of atmosphere and story it drips. Right, the music. And some annoying boss fight stuff sometimes, but overall I think Steamworks Island earns 10th place with the amount of atmosphere and story it drips. Like sap from a tree. Earns 10th place. Drips a great narrative and a tense unique setting like sap from a tree. I think Steamworks drips a great narrative. Drips out. So I think Steamworks drips out a great narrative, a tense atmosphere, and a creative setting. This like simile is so dumb. I don't think I'm gonna use it. I was trying to force the simile there. And some annoying boss fight stuff sometimes, but overall I think Steamworks grows Steamworks sows a great narrative, sows a great narrative, a tense atmosphere, and a creative setting. Sows a great narrative, a tense atmosphere, and a creative setting. Into our brains. Sure as hell made me a little more wary of plants when I was a kid, though. Overall, I think Steamworks sows a great narrative, a tense atmosphere, and a creative setting into our brains, into your brain. Sure as hell made me a little wary of plants when I was a kid, though. Do I want to edit on that? I don't know. You want to use a sick as fuck walker mech to beat the ever living pulp out of these little leafy shits. Did I mention that? The third act of this island is super fun because you get to rain terror on these plant monsters with what do they call it? Is it? There's like a Star Wars vehicle. I think it's an ATRT. Yeah, ATRT. You get to rain terror on these. The third act of this island is super fun because you get to rain terror on these plant monsters with a mech that gave me big ATRT vibes. Did I mention that? The third act of this island is super fun because you get to rain terror on these plant monsters. You get to, I shouldn't say rain terror, I should say deal justice to these plant monsters with a mech that gives big ATRT vibes. It's a great island to keep your curiosity piqued. It sure captured mine. It's a great island. What more can I say? What more can I say? It's got some tricky parts to solve, at least for me, and some annoying boss fight stuff sometimes. But overall, I think Steamworks sells a great narrative, a tense atmosphere, and a creative setting into your brain. Just for it to grow and blossom like a flower. Plant reference. You see, it's because there's a bunch of plants in this game. In your brain to grow and blossom like a flower. Plant reference. You see, it's because there's a bunch of plants in this game. All right, I think that'll be good. Did I say anything about it? I'm going to move it down. I'm going to move it down one. I'm putting Mystery Train at number 10. Mystery Train, I think, deserves 10th place. There we go. Did I say 10th in this at all? I feel like I did. No. It is kind of weird, though, that I mentioned 10th earlier. I didn't even realize that. All right. Nabuti Island. Nabuti Island is my When did it come out? It was in the top 8. What was... Mythology came later. One, two, three, four, six. I guess I could say top 10. Yeah, it was my second favorite island in the top 10 islands. If that makes sense. That's what I'll say. Nabuti Island is my second favorite island from the first 10 islands, if that makes sense. There's one that's ahead of it. What? Nabuti Island is my second favorite island out of the first 10 islands, if that makes sense. There's one that's ahead of it. There's one that's ahead of it. Here. That's dumb. Excuse me, that's dumb explaining that. This music is so unfitting. Nabuti Island is my second favorite island out of the first 10 islands, if that makes sense. I feel like this is one that I always had wonderful memories of. It just takes me back to a really special time. Special time. Elementary school. Computer lab. Elementary school. Computer lab. Pop Tropica. To a really special memory, I should say, rather than time. Really special memory. Elementary school, computer lab, Pop Tropica. back then, I didn't have... I didn't look up any guides or anything. But I specifically remember taking a ton of time to finish this island. And I'd be surrounded by my friends who were trying to help me figure out how to beat it. It's not even that hard of an island. I just had not a lot. I just had very little logical sense with the puzzles it offered. Whoa, what the hell? I guess we're doing this dumbass flashback thing again. I'm trying to find where it is. I am and have always been incredibly biased against these islands since they don't fit in with the rest of the game at all. There's technically 2 brand tie-in islands that I actually enjoyed plenty that make it into the top half of this list. Just 2 out of 9. To save time. There's technically 2 brand tie-in islands that I actually enjoyed plenty that make it into the top half of this list. Just 2 out of 9. Hopefully we don't have any more of those. That's actually funny that I said that because there is one right here. Hopefully we don't have any more of those. Anyways, what Past Me was saying was referring to was those advertisement islands that mostly clumped up the bottom of this list. Anyways, what Past Me was referring to was those advertisement islands that clumped up the bottom of this list, and that 2 were in the top. Anyways, what Past Me was referring to was Red Dragon Island and this one. Nabuti Island. Now this is a strange case since Nabuti itself isn't the brand tie-in. But there's a section... I don't know. Is it? Let me double check that. Nabuti was never like a thing, was it? I guess a different continuity. Was it based on a Choose Your Own Adventure? Wasn't a Booty Island, I feel like it isn't. Was it based on a Choose Your Own Adventure story? Because it is based on the book. It is! Wait, what? The Lost Jewels of Nabuti? That was an actual Choose Your Own Adventure thing? I thought it was like... Oh, man. Well, that changes a lot of what I was going to write. Because I thought it was like its own thing and it would just happen to be advertising Choose Your Own Adventure. Choose Your Own Adventure Jewels of Nabuti. The Lost Jewels of Nabuti. Did it have, like, the same kind of stuff that you experience? The jewels of Nabuti are missing, and it's up to you to find them. 2 diamonds, 2 rubies, all powerful. They can bring good, and they can bring evil to those who possess them. Jewels of Nabuti, priceless treasures of an ancient African tribe, have disappeared. You have been chosen to find them. Where do you begin your search? Your search can take you to the bustling streets of Paris or the teeming alleys of Morocco. You can meet the proud prince of an African nation or visit the mountains of the moon. That is in the game, the mountains of the moon. If you're lucky, you might be chosen to the new garden of the jewels. What? This changes everything. I legitimately did not know it was an adaptation of... Because I always thought it was the weirdest thing that it was like advertising Choose Your Own Adventure. I was like, that's weird. Like, it just has a Choose Your Own Adventure store. Okay. That's fucking weird. Huh. I did not know that. That is so weird. It makes sense now. I mean, don't tell me like it was there the whole time. Don't you tell me. Don't you dare tell me that it was there the whole time. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look right now. Was it in my face the whole time? Wait, don't give me a new player. Hey, Flashpoint, no, don't give me a new player. Hold on, I'm trying to capture this. Why is it... Was it something else? It should just be... Oh, you know what? I don't think it counts as game capture. Why is it saying... Do I get rid of my, like, save? Really? Why did I get rid of my... Why did I get rid of my save? That sucks. Well, I mean, I did finish playing it. Why did I get rid of my save, though? Just in case. I don't remember if this asks anything personal. That's kind of dumb that it didn't. Game data browser. Why did it get rid of my saves? I had saves on here. Or not saves, but... That sucks. Is there a way to get that back, or... That's very sucky. Let me see if I can fix this. I just kind of want to fix it now for the sake of it. It says, I guess it wouldn't matter if I tried it since it's gone if it isn't. Had this glitch on AS3 before. You need to delete old save data most likely. Go to app data, roaming, macro media, flash player. Delete all the files in that folder. And try again. It should hopefully work. Alright, we'll give it a try, I suppose. Restart that. I mean, like, I'm getting, I get sidetracked so much of this. Let me see. Let me see. Alright, whatever. I guess my old save is gone then. Whatever. That sucks. That really sucks, but whatever. I'm just trying to see. The reason I was looking on this is because... Yeah, fine. Whatever. That'll be fine enough. I just wanted to see if Nabuti Island actually claims to be based on a choose your own adventure book, because I legitimately did not know if it was or not until now. Like, does it say so here? Did I just completely miss it? The Trail of Lost Time. Dragon Day. Oops, get rid of that. Probably a dead link. But see, they don't say it at all here. So no, I was not wrong in thinking that. Like, the Lost Jewels of Nabuti is not a single one of these. Yeah. So, no, I didn't have any, I didn't have any reason to think that this would be the case. Okay. Still sucks that my save data is gone from when I last played it. That's really unfortunate. I mean, at the end of the day, I got all the footage I needed, so it's not the worst, but it is a bummer. I would just have to play it all over again. But let me go back to... What? There it is. See, like, I was starting here, I was like, it itself isn't the brand tie-in. Nabuti is the best brand tie-in island. Nabuti is the best brand tie-in island. Maybe I should have just started the paragraph with that. It's so good at being a brand tie-in. It's so good at not feeling like an advertisement for a certain I'm going to use that from the wiki. They say continuity. It's so good at not feeling like an advertisement. Like a completely different continuity that I didn't even know it was its own story outside of Pop Tropica. That's the wrong it's. It's so good at not feeling like a completely different continuity that I didn't even know it was its own story outside of Pop Tropica. Its origin is a choose your own adventure. Is that what it is? I literally just looked it up. It's choose your own adventure, right? Yes. Its origin is a choose your own adventure book called The Lost Jewels of Nabuti. I keep doing the wrong it's here. What the hell? Its origin is a choose-your-own-adventure book called The Lost Jewels of Nabuti. In hindsight, it should be obvious since there's a damn choose-your-own-adventure building in the main hub of the island that advertises the series. But in my defense, it doesn't show, but in my defense, it doesn't show any, anything about Nabuti Island having a book it came from. I literally thought it was just a brief tie-in, a brief I literally thought it was just a random sponsorship or something that they had in this island, on this island, that had nothing to do with the main story. In hindsight, it should be obvious. It should have been obvious to me, since there's a damn choose your own adventure building in the main hub of the island that advertises the series. But in my defense, it doesn't show anything about Nabuti Island having a book it came from. A book of its own. I literally, up until researching more for this ranking, thought that it was just a random sponsorship or something that the Pop Tropica devs had put permanently on this island, and that it had nothing to do with the main story. But then again, that's a good thing. The story, the two products were so seamlessly, were so well mixed together that it felt like Pop Tropica doing its own unique island. The style, the art style doesn't feel out of place. Doesn't feel out of place. The story is totally adjustable for your character to fit in. And other than this one treehouse, it doesn't draw the art style doesn't feel out of place. The story is totally adjustable for a character to fit in. And other than this one treehouse, the product placement of said product placement doesn't feel blatantly in your face. Again, this music, I love the Little Nightmares soundtrack. This does not fit at all what I'm writing. It's fitting, you know what? It does. It's fitting the madness of me figuring out that Nabuti Island is not an original island. Like it's a choose your own adventure book. That's a good thing that I didn't notice. The art style doesn't feel out of place. The story is totally adjustable for your character to fit in. And other than this one treehouse, the product placement doesn't feel blatantly in your face. Alright, there we go. Shouldn't have fixed it wasn't broken because none after, other than Red Dragon, are islands I would consider good. Enough of that. Of that, though. I haven't even talked about what I like so much about Nabuti Island. Other than the fun name, it's a super fun, other than the fun name, it's a great adventure across the continent of Africa. You get to travel to and learn about really cool places across around there, like you get to travel Indiana Jones map style to different regions of Africa. Different regions of the land. From the pyramids, the Great Pyramids of Giza, to the... Are they real places like the Mountain of the Moon? Is that a real... I'm seeing a movie called Mountains of the Moon. There is a Wikipedia article of Mountains of the Moon, which is a legendary mountain range in East Africa at the source of the Nile River. Yeah, so it is a real thing. Nabuti is not real. Nabuti is not a real place, but to different regions of the land, from the Great Pyramids of Giza to the Mountains of the Moon. And down to the diamond. So South Africa. That one's not as fun. That one's not as fun IRL. I think that definitely has like a lot of real world things about that, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy about the diamond mines in South Africa. So that one's not as fun. That one's not as fun. That one's not very fun. That last one is not a very fun place. To different amazing regions of the land, from the Great Pyramids of Giza to the Mountains of the Moon, and down to the diamond mines of South Africa. That last one is not very amazing. That last one is not very amazing in real life. Last one is not very amazing. I'm sorry I included it. That last one is not amazing IRL. I don't think a fun minecart ride. That last one is not amazing IRL. I don't think a fun minecart ride captures the I don't think a fun minecart ride captures the controversy of gem mines. I don't know. Eat Trail Indian just down to the diamond mines of South Africa. Forget that last one. Those really aren't that amazing. It has a fun minecart ride in the game, but I don't think that's how the real places function. It has a fun minecart ride in the game, but I don't think that's how the real places function. I always loved the geography lessons this island taught me about Africa. And some of the history throughout the continent. I always love the geography lessons this island taught me about Africa and some of the history throughout the continent. It feels a lot like, it feels much more it feels more pointed. Africans and the history throughout the continent. I've always Pop Tropica, aside from an entertaining kids game, made edutainment common practice throughout a ton of its islands. And this is one of the most educational ones, I feel. This is going to be an entire page, Nabuti Island. Jesus Christ. Aside from learning African culture, there's fun puzzles like the one in Ethiopia where you have to transport these animals without leaving them to when in Ethiopia where you have to transport these animals without losing any of the cargo you're carrying. Reading the hieroglyphics in the pyramids to understand how to get through its traps. There's fun puzzles like the one in Ethiopia where you have to transport these animals without losing any of the cargo you're carrying. Or the one in the pyramids, or the few in the pyramids where you have to read the hieroglyphics to understand how to navigate its traps. There were Easter eggs that I discovered. There were super fun Easter eggs. There was this super fun Easter egg I discovered on my own too, where you get a cell phone, and if you dial 911, it gives you a police outfit. Apparently, there were other numbers too with some secret costume stuff. So that was just a fun detail. If you know me, my favorite part was the safari. The safari tour. To get an item, you need to photograph a bunch of animals that would be seen on a ride through the wilds of Kenya, that would seen on a Kenyan safari. That would be seen on a Kenyan safari. Kenya Safari. What did you expect? I'm the guy who made this. I'll wrap it up. I could go on and on about... I could go on and on about Nabuti Island, but we're almost done. So let's get on with it. I think I'm going to move this ahead of Wild West. Okay. Let's fix that. Nope, that's not right. Is that right? I think so. Nope, it is not. That's better. All right. Let's see. Let me read this whole section here. Nabuti Island is my second favorite island out of the first 10 islands, if that makes sense. I feel like this was one that I always had wonderful memories of. It just takes me back to a really special... Back in elementary school... Back in elementary school, we'd get free time in the computer lab, and I'd always go to Pop Tropica. I didn't look up any guides or anything, but I specifically remember taking a ton of time to finish this island. Let me emphasize that. This island. And I'd be surrounded by my friends who were trying to help me figure out how to beat it. It's not even that hard of an island. I just had I just had very little logical sense with the puzzles it offered. Whoa, what the hell? I guess we're doing this dumbass flashback thing again to save time. There's technically 2 Brantian Islands that I actually enjoyed plenty that make it into the top half of this list. Just 2 out of 9. Hopefully we don't have any more of those. Anyways, what Past Me was referring to was Red Dragon Island and this one, Nabuti Island. Nabuti is the best Brantian Island. Maybe I should have just started the paragraph with that. It's so good at feeling like a completely different continuity that I didn't even know at not feeling like a completely different continuity that I didn't even know it was its own story outside of Pop Tropica. Its origin is a choose-your-own-adventure book called The Lost Jewels of Nabuti. In hindsight, it should have been obvious to me since there's a damn choose-your-own-adventure building in the main hub of the island that advertises the series, but in my defense, it doesn't show anything about Nabuti Island having a book of its own. I literally, up until researching more for this ranking, thought it was just a random sponsorship or something that the Pop Tropica devs had put permanently on this island, and that it had nothing to do with the main story. But then again, that's a good thing I didn't notice. The art style doesn't feel out of place, the story is totally adjustable for your character to fit in, and other than this one treehouse, the product placement doesn't feel blatantly in your face. It was the first attempt from Pop Tropica to do one of these collaborations, and it was the best. Shouldn't have fixed what wasn't broken, because none after, other than Red Dragon, are islands I would consider good. Enough of that, though. I haven't even talked about what I like so much about Nabuti Island. Other than the fun name, it's a great adventure across the continent of Africa. Look, I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't mention it again. But I just want to bring up how much better of an African adventure it is than reality TV Wild Safari. Okay, now I'm done bringing it up again. Across the continent of Africa. Look, I'm sorry I said I wouldn't mention it. I'm sorry By the way, I'm sorry I said I wouldn't mention it. By the way, I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't mention it again, but I just want to bring up how much better of an African adventure this island is than reality TV Wild Safari. Okay, now I'm done bringing it up again. You get to travel Indiana Jones. You get to travel Indiana Jones map style to different amazing regions of the land, from the Great Pyramids of Giza in the north to the Mountains of the Moon in the east, and down to the diamond mines of the south. Forget that last one. Forget those. To a diamond mine of the south. Forget that last one. It really isn't that. It really isn't amazing. Isn't that amazing? It has a fun minecart ride in the game, but I don't think that's how the real place. I don't think that's an accurate representation of going to the real place. minecart roller coaster in the game, but I don't think that's an accurate representation of going to the real place. I always loved the geography lessons this island taught me about Africa and some of the history throughout the continent. Pop Tropica, aside from an entertaining kids game, made edutainment from aside from being a unique kids game, made edutainment a common and fun kids game, made edutainment a common practice throughout a ton of its islands, and this is one of the most educational ones. One of the most educational ones, I feel. Aside from learning African culture, there's fun puzzles like the one in Ethiopia where you have to transport these animals without losing any of the cargo you're carrying. These animals without losing any of the cargo you're carrying. Do you play Mancala in this one? I'm trying to remember. I think you do. Yes, you do. I should mention that. There's some puzzles like the one in Ethiopia where you have to transport cargo in a certain order. The one in the Congo. Where is... Where is the Democratic Republic of Congo? That's not anywhere near it. I thought... They do have mountains there. I just realized the music's been off for a little bit. Do some We Were Here. In the east and down to a diamond mine in the south. Forget that one. It really isn't amazing. It has a fun minecart roller coaster in the game, but I don't think that's an accurate representation of going to the real place. There's fun puzzles like the one in Ethiopia where you have to transport cargo in a certain order. The one in the... in the Congo where... in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where you play Mancala with Where was I? Moncala with an older gentleman. Or there's the fun puzzles like the one in Ethiopia where you have to transport cargo in a certain order, or the one in the Democratic Republic of the Congo where you play Moncala with an older gentleman. And the few in the pyramids where you have to read the hieroglyphics to understand how to navigate several traps. There was a super fun Easter egg I discovered on my sort of off topic, but there was a super fun Easter egg I discovered on my own where you get I discovered long ago on my own where you get a cell phone, and if you dial 911 it gives you a police outfit. What else? I don't need to say that. If you know me, my favorite part was the safari tour. To get an item, you need to photograph a bunch I don't remember what you get. To progress the game, you need to photograph a bunch of animals that would be seen on a Kenyan safari. What did you expect? I'm the guy who made this video. I'm the guy who made this. I go on a Kenyan safari. It's not like the most fun part or anything, but what did you expect of me? Expect me to find what did you expect me to find the most enjoyable? But what did you expect me to find the most enjoyable? I'm the guy who made this. I'm the guy who made this. Moody Island. Like, I didn't even mention the main storyline about returning gems, returning jewels to this museum, or the wacky twist ending. But we're almost done with this very long ranking, so let's get on with it. There we go. What's my word count, by the way? What? Oh, that's because I highlighted. I was like, there's more than 48 words. 21,904 words. Jesus. Oh my goodness. This is so long. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can do Ghost Story, and then we have 4 left afterwards. Excuse me. Or do I want to... Honestly, I'm... What did I do? 2? Did I do 2? I think I did. Jesus. Alright, you know what? I'm going to end it here. Just because... that Nabuti one was so long. I just don't have it in me to do Ghost Story right now. So anyways, hope you enjoyed.